here. What's up, guys? Happy Friday. May 23rd. I knew that, actually. I knew what day it was. What up, Cujo? What up, King of all trades? What up, Big Chops? What up, Lone Wolf? You guys are having a good day. We head into our weekend. A lot of baseball tonight. I don't like this white backdrop. I'm gonna have to fix that. A lot of baseball tonight. Every team in the league. Game today. I think there's a game going on now, but we're not doing that. Baltimore and Boston. All right, you guys know the drill, man. It's Friday. We got a lot of work to do. We're gonna go game by game here. As we are going game by game, we're gonna be using and updating the MLBGrind.com premium spreadsheet. Mostly automated, but there are some stuff I need to hand enter details for. That way we kind of keep our fingerprints right on what we're working with. That's our run totals, which is dynamic number, pitcher information for the pitcher projections, and that's it. Everything else is pretty well automated. Oh, and I do weather grades. Weather. And our finished product, when we're done with it all, it's going to give us some pitcher projections, some stack ratings. We even have fantasy projections for the hitters as well, and the home runs, all that good stuff. And that is stuff that we will take to battle tonight as we enter the streets of DFS, the streets of prop betting. Go on. What up, Dustin? Memorial Day weekend. Let's remember those who lost their lives so we can enjoy the freedoms of the screen. Yeah. Shout out all the vets that let us sit around listening to instrumental music and make parlays. I didn't even realize it was a 3-day weekend. Keep getting these notices about a bank holiday, but I never I guess it may. I kind of see a PrizePicks parlay in this stream. I'm on a Greyhound bus to go to Nashville. Yeah, we'll work on one. Let me get my butt kicked on PrizePicks. But yeah, we'll work on one. I have a notepad. Greyhound bus. I was talking to a lady yesterday. Got off a Greyhound bus, and remember when I was young, took a Greyhound a few times between New York and Texas. My family would take planes. I was like, yeah, I'm not. I'd rather just be on the earth, Ma. All right, well, here, I'll put you on a bus. Which, in retrospect, pretty effing dangerous. Some of the stuff I saw on those buses, probably should have saw. But that's what I get for not wanting to go in the air. Yeah, I haven't done a plane. I don't think I will, but we'll see. Maybe one day. Statistically, you're more likely to get an accident on the way to the airport. All right, let's go game number one here. Got a 3-game early slate. Dude, my shoulder has been itching for like 4 days now. 3-game early slate. For the pitching options, or how we would approach this. Weather report, by the way. Roth, anything? Baltimore, Boston. Okay, that game does not matter, right? Everything else looks like it's everything else. Yeah, I'm also just like a giant human, so a lot of stuff built for me. No, there's a dude I've wrestled with, about as big as me. He flies all the time. He's like, dude, he was telling me some company gives you 2 chairs for free. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna use that, but cool. I've been seeing lately something about some company having a standing, be like a cheaper. I don't know. Those chairs look ridiculously uncomfortable. Cubs and the Reds, Great American Ballpark is going to see Matt Boyd taking on Hunter Green, 2 solid pitchers in a dangerous ballpark. 64 degrees, not a crazy weather game here, but it is Great American Ballpark and things happen. The 25% K rate for Matt Boyd so far this season, a 10.9% swing and strike rate. This is 6.3% barrel rate, pretty good all the way around for him. He does have a home run bugaboo, particularly against right-handed hitting. Has not allowed a homer to a lefty yet this season, but has allowed a 302 average, a high line drive rate. Other than that, it's pretty serviceable. He is facing a Reds team otherwise anemic, right? You got Ellie De La Cruz, who his better split seems to be against righties. You got Santiago Espinal, Austin Hayes, 2 guys that hit for decent average and OPS against lefties. And Tyler Stevenson's also there as well. TJ Friedl leading off against a lefty. I was a little bit I was wondering about that. One thing I did notice about Friedl, and this is strictly a probability versus odds, Friedl actually has like the highest value in our home run probability versus odds available. So like fair odds for Friedl, we think would be 526, giving him a 16% chance of homering, and you can get him at 1200 on Fanduel. That's a 674 difference. Now this is more so thinking about the park, the hit opportunity, right? He's leading off in Great American Ballpark, and clearly the matchup against Matt Boyd isn't like a great one, but also Matt Boyd isn't like got a 60% ground ball rate. He just hasn't a lot of homer to lefties. It's really looking like the lack of hard contact allowed and the ability to miss barrels is there, and Friedel's not a ISO guy anyway, so probability wise Friedel's not gonna homer, but I do think it's a fun bet that pays you almost double what fair odds at. So let's make a single game interest ranking, and let's go Matt Boyd. Hunter Green inversely been really good, 35% K rate. You look at the other names on this slate, Paul Skeens, man, all the pitching for the day seems like it's on this slate. You got absolute studs on this 3-game slate, and then there's Landon Root. But man, Mackenzie Gore, Paul Skeens, Freddie Peralta, Hunter Green, dude, come on, man, share some of the wealth for the main slate. What are we doing here? And then past the pitchers here, I'd be interested in the Cubs before I'm interested in the Reds. And that's how we go from there. Let's go to a pitcher projection. Let's go working on some numbers throughout yesterday's. My wife served 24 years. She hates it when people thank her. She says it's for the dead people. Yeah. It's a weird holiday, but like I'm all for it. I'm jealous of tall people. Yeah, I'm tall and wide, dude, and I got a big circumference. What up, Anthony Hunt? You think Kershaw bounces back against the Mets? No, probably not. We'll look at it though. But Kershaw is, dude, my shoulder is like so itchy. I don't know why. Last year he wasn't that great, right? And he's coming back from surgery. Like, what are we getting back to? Is what I'm getting. He's definitely on the decline of his career. What up, Josh? Freak is going on with my shoulder. Okay. Do a projection here. Dude, this early slate is just like stacked, dude. DNF on the walk. On a green. Guys, I got by my not buy anything, but Uber Eats app. A lot of stuff has like a buy one get one free deal, and I go crazy on like Hawaiian Brothers. You can buy one get one free. I was like, man, I want something light. Get on the stream, and there was this place called Bahama Bucks, the original shaved ice company. And it looked like it looked like a basic cup of like coconut flavored protein shake. And they bring me a cup like as big as my freaking head. But it was buy one get one free, so I got a whole nother one. I was like, this thing might be whooping my butt, dude. I don't want to put it in the fridge. But I'm gonna be coconut proteined out, but I had to get something in me before I pop that. You know? Earthed up, you already know, bro. I already know. All right, let's go get our outs for Boyd and. Go 17 and a half them. Actually, let's go 16 for a green. Friday. Oh, speaking of Friday, Flex Friday on PrizePicks. So the crazy, there's a promos tab. You click on that, you opt in. You might as well do the max. It's like a $20 max bet. And if you lose it, you just get the funds back tomorrow as credit. Then you can lose it again. It's great. It's awesome. So we spit in the projection, came back with 6.36 Ks for green, almost 6 for Matt Boyd. Apple of our eye as the friendly part. Check out next game. Freddie Peralta taking on Paul Skeens. 0.5 run total for the Brewers. 0.7 for the Pirates. Peralta been pretty solid. 25% carry rate this season. I saw a weird stat yesterday. It was something like the Pirates broke a streak of scoring 3 or less. See if I can find it real quick. It was some stat about the Pirates have gone forever scoring 3 or less runs. And yesterday they finally scored over 3, and they lost. Over 4 runs. They went 26 consecutive games without scoring more than 4 runs. Then they lost yesterday 8-5. Say all that to say this. Freddie Peralta's in a decent spot as the Pirates are basically a walking quality start for good pitchers. and Paul Skeens is Paul Skeens, right? So I'm gonna go ready. It really doesn't matter, dude. All the pitching on this slate's nuts. So there, the Brewers are obviously slightly more talented. Maybe this isn't the game for it, but it should be noted. Rhys Hoskins. To be honest, so Rhys Hoskins got off to a rough start. Kind of turned it around, and those in the know have said that it coincides with him getting a torpedo bat. So Paul Skeens or a slate that we're not really playing is maybe not the spot to store this info, but we should store this info. Look at since April, he's essentially batted almost 300, slugged almost 500 aggregate, maybe more, and the OPS is crazy. And like I said, a lot of people are kind of pointing at the torpedo bat, giving that some credit. So again, maybe Paul Skeens ain't the spot, but maybe it is for the fact that you got to play some hitters on this, right? So keep him in mind, if not today, but going forward. He's still pretty obtainable on both sites. Brewers otherwise have been pretty putrid offensively. We did see some life in the bat of Christian Yelich yesterday. I think one was a lucky hit homer, and then he got another one. So we go Peralta, Skeens. Those are interchangeable. Brewers and maybe Pirates Substack. Peralta is certainly susceptible to homers to righties. Not a whole lot in this lineup that you are running from right hand. So we're gonna grade that one out. Let's go do a projection here. Let's go 25%. Walk rate. Yelich in that offense. Orio's not been. Remember that one random day he batted 6 and then they went back to normal? What up, Don? Got that back. Everyone, this might be like the stupidest small slate for pitching in a good way. Landon Root taking on Mackenzie Gore. Giants have a 3.8 run total. Nationals 3.9. Landon Root taking on Mackenzie Gore. Gore with a 35.6% K rate. Root 23%. Root. One of these things is not like the other on this slate. And it's this guy. And he's not even like a bum either. 1.43 whip is elevated, obviously influenced by his 10% walk rate to lefties and his elevated average to both sides, especially to righties with a high home run per nine. But this is a slate where he's easily the lowest owned pitcher, right? And one thing we can keep an eye on about Roop, he has pretty extreme splits in terms of success and strikeouts. A 4.5 xFIP to lefties versus a 2.9 xFIP to righties. A 27% K rate to righties, but just a 17% K rate to lefties. And that's very, very notable. Because there's a good chance the Nationals lineup comes out all but one lefty with all the switch hitters that they got baked into a lefty heavy lineup. This means we can hyper focus more on his lefty splits, which is not great, especially on this slate. So we're going to go Mackenzie Gore at the top of our interest ranking. And then we're going to go Nationals. That's kind of it. There's really no need for Roop on this slate. So for Nationals, let's go do a pitcher projection team. I'm going to give them a 19% K rate, assuming that they're going to come out lefty heavy. 35 on Gore. We don't get like okay. So with that projection on Root, it got. Oh, we didn't give out. We gotta give outs. Real strikeouts. That gives me 4.67 strikeouts. Do we have any type of dump? All right, that should unlock the early slate projections. One of the toughest slates for pitching. Go to. Chicago. The Chicago Cubs and Reds logo have been trolling me all season, so it's nice to see them in the same game. Cubs come in as the top greatest stack on this slate, and then Reds too. I think this is strictly because of ballpark. It's strictly, but largely influenced by the ballpark, and Cubs over everything. Two ratings, feast or famine. What was I about to do? And is there anything else? Stars. Oh, the pitcher projection. For Kenzie Gore came out on top. Peralta and Ski. But all matter. And then there's Landon Root. What up, Andy? Hope you're doing all right. All right, we can move on to the main slate. Oh, that. All right. Main slate's giving us some names, dude. I thought we were gonna get posed on some aces, but we get Wheeler in a tough spot. We get Nick Pivetta, Pablo. Not quite. Whatever. What's up, Sesk? I don't think I should get the dog, huh? All right, moving on to the 12-game main slate. We're going to start with the Toronto Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays. Blue Jays have a 4.3 run total. Rays a 4.9. Drew Rasmussen taking on Eric Lauer. Lauer, 12 innings of work so far this season. Almost a 32% K rate. The craziest collection of colors based on 2 years ago and this year, as he left and came back I need a better man. He came back a better man. 15.4% barrel rate in those 12 innings. High fly ball rate to lefties and righties this season. Jesus, it's all over the place. And a 113 home run per 9 for righties. Inversely, Drew Rasmussen this season, 22.2% K rate, a sub 10% swinging strike rate, 10% barrel rate, a 1 whip. Has allowed homers to righties over $1.25. Now, something we got to remember about games out here in Tampa is, yeah, we all know it's a single A ballpark, but also now we are dipping into the front door of summer, and it's pushing 90 degrees out there. So it's gonna be the new Coors, right? It's gonna be like Oak Athletics when that stadium gets hot. And when you get good teams, you're gonna have some shootouts. And I gotta be honest, man, this run total feels kind of low. And I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but it feels like a good spot for both offenses, and for a team like the Blue Jays to have just 4.3 runs. That's a lot of respect for Drew Rasmussen, all things considered. I'm gonna give this game a little bit of a weather boost. I'm thinking half a point. Man, you're telling me there's some wind blowing out to right, and we're pushing 90 degrees, and already one of the best hitting parks on the slate. Yeah, that's a good spot. And Rasmussen's strikeout stuff to righties just has not been there, and the Blue Jays are not a strikeout team through and through. So I don't know, man. Blue Jays might surprise some people with the run total. We'll see. Also, the Rays bullpen average, same with the Blue Jays. So maybe they'll hold them at bay, but less than 5 runs feels like a lot of respect. All things considered. So I'm gonna go. Take this out here. Are we buying what Eric Lauer's selling? First of all, this year in the minors, 24 innings, 21 Ks, a buck and a quarter on the whip. So less than a strikeout per inning. .1 innings, a 268 average to lefties. Walks. 25 innings, 2 homers, 7 walks. Over a strikeout. Even at a strikeout per inning. Oh, what else? Look at this. Got a lot of pitches. .47% whiff rate on this curveball. Pretty dramatic drop in velo from fastball to curveball. Even a pitch like that can make your fastball faster. Oh. Could expect this slug. Pretty much everything. The cutter's at 489. It looks like the curveball is really what's bringing him along, and he's hoping to get in the head and count. Tertiary pitch. Lauer's better price on Fanduel. I don't think I'm not trying to talk myself into playing Lauer. I'm trying to substantiate his stats or discredit them. Back in the day, he was with like Cubs, the Brewers. I'm thinking I should run to pick on this. But then he had a couple fluke games. What up, Pojin? And I'm just trying to put it together. Did he like go to Japan or something? Like why? Went to the KBO. Got 4.93 RA in the KBO. What are we doing? I'm gonna lean towards not buying. And I'm interested in these offenses. Go Rays, Blue Jays. Probably not gonna get to Rasmussen here, but get it. Ghost energy drink. They got Welch's grape. Yeah, it was alright. I didn't love it. I didn't feel like it was like as much grape as I want. Nothing, I'm telling you, nothing beats this. Like we'll search all day. Nothing beats the orange cream, bro. What's up, Dexter? All right, let's put out a projection here. All right, that's stuff. I'm never getting 2 of these again. I only wanted 1, but it was like, hey, you get another one for free. Okay. Give him a 28%. 31. Who is this? I'll give him a 28. I'll create for Lauer. Oops. I'm gonna put a 15.5, both of them. That's all I got to say about that. BR. MMJ dispensary and 7-Eleven. OJ, you live in Colorado, right? You know what show you might like if you haven't watched it? It's called Tulsa King. It was way better than it should have been, in my opinion. Basically, Sylvester Stallone's a mob guy that gets out of prison. They try to get rid of him by sending him to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Then he goes there, like, establishes his shit. And he puts together, like, this bad news bears of gangsters. And a lot of it's funded by the dispensary. The Orioles and Red Sox. 0.6 run total for the Orioles. Red Sox at a 5.2. Fenway. So this game is on the set. I thought it wasn't gonna be on the set, but for Roth. Bit of an interesting one here. It looks like rain all game. Very light rain. They probably just played through it, but we'll need a check, tarp, and warm-up status. The light yellow. All weather. Going back to the Neto Ward prop. Neto is so good. Question that Yankees stack for large field. Don, I haven't looked at ownerships, but I can't imagine you're gonna be on an island Yankee stack in Coors Field tonight. So if you're running a finite number of lineups as far as like less than 20, I probably wouldn't. Going against a large field that has 150, I'd probably be looking for pivots. As far as the reality, the probability of the Yankees going nuclear in Coors Field is pretty doggone high. But from the game theory perspective of baseball DFS, it's gonna be hard to differentiate yourself versus the large field. When large field likely to feature the Yankee stacks the majority of the line. So the way you would probably get around that, pairing them with lower owned stack or crazy pitching. So the answer is yes and no. But in baseball, it's usually a little bit more lucrative to have a contrarian How do I pick GPP players if I'm hand building? I know it's hard. You gotta make yourself numb to that. But after a while, you start getting happy about players being 30% owned on a 12-game slate. Like, all right, let the field have that 6K investment, because at that investment he has to homer. Then you just save some money. Dude, that home run prop is crazy. Wait, wasn't minus 160? I know. I think Jake posted in the Discord at plus 138 at one point, which is just insane. I remember one time the Padres had like a game in Mexico, and Fernando Tatis was almost even money to homer. We're getting there. I don't know how we faced Judge today, but he can. Fucked. Are you a Rockies fan? If I'm a Rockies fan, I say just pipe him some fastballs. Let me see what he can do. Going to the World Series, we don't care about winning. Matter of fact, it probably behooves us to keep losing. Throw him some home run derby pitches and see if he can hit 600 foot. Maybe that's just me as a Yankees fan, but at that point, I'm just like, screw it, dude. Let's see what he's got. I bet watching him and BP. All right. Giolito taking on Charlie Morton is our pitching matchup in Fenway. This will be game 2 of a doubleheader. I get some weird lineups. Might not get a lineup in Family Matter, but we might. What's game 1 looking like? 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Yeah, the game will be done. Yeah, that Mexico. Easy. 20% K rate for Morton this season, 176 on the whip. Heavy home runs allowed to both sides of the plate so far, almost an aggregate 2 to both sides of the plate. So good spot for Devers, Bregman, Abreu, all your 200 plus ISO guys. Even Jarren Duran has some crazy ISO. Is that influenced by his speed? Is he popping them like that? A lot of WRC plus in the top half of this lineup as well. So immediately interested in the Red Sox. The Orioles bullpen has been much worse than the Red Sox as well. So Red Sox look like a featured part of this game against a declining Charlie Morton, to say the least. Giolito, not somebody I'm running from either. 19% K rate in 20 innings so far this season. Sub 8% swing and strike rate, over a 10% barrel rate. Stop me if you heard this before, but the Orioles don't look half bad. But yeah, it's gonna be an offense only game for me. Obviously I meme the Orioles. I don't know how they're. I don't even want to open that can of worms today. Charlie Morton, let's go with a 20. Great. Giolito. Net. Walk rate on Morton. Fucking lefties like crazy. All right. Go. I'm gonna go 15.5 baseline. Wouldn't shock me if they make Morton wear it. Double header doesn't have it. Dodgers and the Mets. We do have both lineups for this game. Dodgers rocking a 4.4 run total. Mets a 4.3. Firm Dodgers lineup: Ohtani, Mookie, Freddie, Will Smith, and cleanup. 5-hole Teoscar, Max Muncy, Andy Paez, so Edmund, little Michael Conforto. I'm coming home. Lindor, Mark Vientos batting second. Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, Starling Marte batting fifth. Brandon Nimmo, Tone Taylor, 80, Cisco Alvarez. It was a tough return for Kershaw. Leading up to his return in the minors, he go 21 innings, but just 16 strikeouts and a 0.81 whip. So, I think we could put to rest the Hall of Fame version of Kershaw. And over the last 5 years, switched four-seamer with the slider as far as pitch use. And it has worked in a splitter a little bit more. And sometimes what we've seen with lefties in the past is they get away, like Andy Pettitte, Yusei Sabathia, they get away from the fastball and they use like a putter or a sinker. Putter, I think, is what kind of stretched CC for a couple more years, but it looks like Kershaw's doing that with the maybe the splitter, whatever it is. That Kyle Hendricks velocity on his fastball, that's not good. Slider 85 as well. Got an expected slug so far of that's just 4 innings, but there's nothing that I'm running from Kershaw. I love Kershaw. Four homers and 15.2 innings to righties in his rehab. 5 walks. So even though the average allowed is low, I think the field more hesitant because of the name value than the actual matchup at hand. I do think the Mets stack Mets. Griffin Canning, 23.2% carry rate for him this season, 12.3% swing and strike rate. He is not immune to homers to either side of the plate. Lefties have been a bigger problem for him. A 261 average allowed this season, 121 homer per 9. Does have a good ground ball rate to both sides of the plate. Can play spoiler here and there, but this is just a really, really good Dodgers lineup. I'll go Mets, Dodgers. Griffin Canning can be put in the blender. I got no Kershaw interest where I'm at. Pour one out for Kershaw. Yeah, I do like Kershaw. It's a shame that we'll always tarnish him for his playoff woes, but he's a GOAT, dude. He's a GOAT. We'll always be like, yo, give me prime Kershaw versus prime Barry Bonds. Who wins that? You know what I mean? The other day we had DeGrom versus Aaron Judge, and that was so fun. That's just like, that's the type of old man rocking chair. Yeah, I watched Sandy Koufax pitch against Babe Ruth. They didn't play together, Grandpa. Well, I saw Aaron Judge and Jacob DeGrom. Judge took him yard 5 times in one at bat. Yep. Sat right here and watched it. Hey, Grandpa. Oh, 15%. I'm gonna give him that 15%. Adding. Muhammad Ali sat right there in that chair. Or into America. What up, Heath? Right. That's what AI needs to do. Or simulating old at bats. Give me 1.5. Funny if he gets 100% pitching versus Judge. And Judge would, come on. That'd be kind of a fun Universal All-Star Award. Body pitching, Judge hitting. Let's see, Judge pitching. Judge got a cannon. That projection. Actually, we did get a couple lineups for there. The premium members. Date info. Lineups for that slate. Like the psychos they are. Alright, I can't do this oil. This coconut. The ghost. Okay. The cat just went in the dog kennel. Oh, she do that when the dog's outside. Green light the Giants lineup. Oh, Keys, Garcia. So, they actually went all lefties. It almost tax Root for another percent. I think I gave him 18%. I'm gonna go 18. I don't really know who. He is 92 OPS, 333 average, 9 stolen bases. Righties. Is it truth or what? Three homers. Nine prop. All right. Well, if you need some value on that slate, 2K. I don't even know if he's in the DK pool. All right. Yeah, he's on Fanduel. Yeah, they used to do some funny. Dude, they used to do like pitchers throwing baseballs into like windshields and stuff to advertise windshields. ranked back in the day. Where are we? Guardians and the Tigers. Guardians with a 4.2 run total. Tigers 4.5. Jackson Jobe taking on Slade Oni. 4.2 run total, like we said, for the Guardians. They get a beatable matchup right now in Jackson Jobe, who is rocking an 18.5% K rate, 1.45 whip. Lefties have been hitting him for decent power, almost a 2 home run per 9, with a 10.5% walk rate, high fly ball, high hard contact rate, high xFIP. So Stephen Kwan, J-Ram, Manzardo, all those guys look pretty decent as far as the matchup's concerned. You lose a little bit of steam as far as low temperatures in the spacious Comerica Park. But you do get a little wind assistance blowing out to left center. So I think all things considered, we'll keep it neutral. We'll go from there. So I think Guardians, Substack, and then against Slade. Slade has been got some crazy strikeout. He's in 5 innings. Yeah. 1.2 strike rate. How does he double his swing and strike rate? This a product. The minors this season, 13 innings pitched, 10 strikes. So he ate his Wheaties that day. Looks like we should slow it down. Back to him to crazy strikeout. This kind of Stuff plus gotta be the weirdest stat that I don't know if I fully understand it right now. You're telling me this guy had a 1.3 xFIP, 65% first pitch strike on an 18.2% swing and strike rate, but he was less than average in stuff plus? Like, what am I missing? I've been kind of hesitant putting that on the. I do look at it. I do. Anomalies. There. Factories. Barrel rate was kind of. Well, it's only 2 barrels. I don't know. I'm gonna bring his K rate way down. I'll give him a 20%. Proves me wrong. He proves me wrong. And for Jackson Jobe, I'll go 8. Sample on that. Walk rate. Jobe. 12. Outs. Outs. Take Wheeler. Night slate. I see 2 games: Athletics versus Philly. Marlins game. Out of the pitchers, take Wheeler. Pitcher? Wheeler, yes. The Angels. He against the Marlins? Yeah. Yeah, that's probably how you rake that out. Although I don't think it's crazy for Alcantara to have like a visible game. He does have a decent ground ball rate. The Angels can still strike out, but his strikeout stuff lately. But it's not nothing. Still has a double-digit swing. So I think Kikuchi feels a little safer as far as matchup goes. But it would be those three. It would be Wheeler, Kikuchi, Alcantara. We go just Substack in here. Finish the. So let's move on. Padres. Oh, Tiger sign-up came out. That is Carpenter, Glaber. Dylan. Heaney. Took a pill in a Banyas. Two. Hey, Padres and the Braves. Padres trying to get off a skid, man. We've been going through it. There's also reports out there, rumors, if you will, of some teammates fighting. That seems to happen a lot on Manny Machado teams. I don't know. Nick Pivetta taking on Chris Sale. It's a good pitching matchup. Pivetta gets to see the return of Ronald Acuna to the majors. That'll be fun. 28% K rate so far this season for him. A sub-1 whip. 12% swinging strike rate. Does allow some power to righties so far. But respectable numbers. And it inversely, Chris Sale, 30% K rate for him. A 14.4% swinging strike rate. A little elevated on the barrel rate. He did come out to this season with like a really tough strength of schedule. Look at how we started things. San Diego, when they were good, the Dodgers, the Phillies, at Tampa. So that was a pretty tough stretch. And then he picked up Arizona at Coors. So it's gotten better lately as far as strength of schedule, and we've kind of seen some better output. But here we are against a struggling Padres team. But this is an interesting matchup because they aren't that good against left-handed pitching since the beginning of last year. Only two players in the projected have positive WRC pluses, Manny Machado and Jose Iglesias, but they aren't like striking out at a 30% clip. There's a lot of really low K rates in this line of suck. So you might not get the super ceiling out of Chris Sale, but I'm still somewhat interested. And then inversely with Nick Pivetta, tougher, flatter matchup, but again, WRC pluses kind of level out pretty quickly. There's a higher aggregate K rate in the Braves lineup. So I do think I'm pitching first, but I gotta like keep in mind, or at least be cognitive of the fact that the matchups may not be as sexy as we want, or as ceiling goes, but sometimes the pitcher just has it. So we're gonna go Pivetta and Chris Sale. Those are interchangeable. I probably should put Pivetta on top. Likely has a higher upside matchup, but Sale has a whole implied run total going his way with the return of kind of going back and forth. I'll go Sale, but it's really interesting. We're probably not committing to a full stack of either. So 28% K rate for Pivetta, Chris Sale, 30% walk rate here for Pivetta. Let's give 6.5. Sale. Well, I'd imagine both guys are 17.5 on the outs. 18.5 and 18 on Sale, 16. Where's the QS? Here. That's all I got to say about that. Ronald. He's batting 400 with a 1.5 OPS and 15 at bats, 2 homers. Oh, that's there. An old picture. Moving. Rangers and the White Sox. Rangers a 4.7 run total. White Sox 0.5. That's Tyler Mahle taking on Sean Burke. Mahle 19% K rate on the season. Sub-1 whip has really struggled to strike out righties, but striking out lefties at a really good clip. White Sox stuck, but they come out righty heavy. I do think just because of the matchup, we get into some interest for Mahle. I sure wish that righty K rate was a little. Double-digit swinging strike rates in 3 of his last 4. Athletics, Colorado, Houston. Okay. And then Sean Burke, a 15% K rate so far this season for him, 12% barrel rate. This is another happenstance where the Rangers get a good matchup, but they just aren't that good. Wyatt Langford, maybe some Jake Berger. It's just kind of hard to trust these guys. And on this big of a slate, getting into this ballpark, like, yeah, maybe I'd get into a couple of handcuffs, but I can't see myself going 5 flat here. But I get it. Sean Burke and the bullpen's beatable. So let's get a little bit of Mahle. Rangers Substack. Great. Cubs lineup came out. We'll go fix that. Mahle might be like a better Fanduel. Cubs lineup updated. Ian Happ, Kyle Tucker. Dude, why are we still leading off Ian Happ? What are we doing? I guess we'll take PCA in the cleanup. Push. As projected. That's good. Oh, yeah. The offense has been pretty rough. So they're like the Orioles for me in the sense that keep seeing them in good spots and they fail. But at least you can understand why they're like, you can look at these numbers. The Orioles just like, they suck. They suck. Why? You kind of get it with the Rangers. Royals and the Twins next up. Noah Cameron taking on Pablo Lopez. 3.2 run total for the Royals. The Twins a 4.4. 13% K rate for Cameron so far, with a 8.1% swing and strike rate. So small sample here. Let's go see what we're working with. Goes into it. Why did I say that? Like 32.2 innings, 38 Ks. So it looks like we might see those Ks start coming up at a higher clip. So something to keep in mind. And then Pablo Lopez, we know what we're getting out of him. 28% K rate, 12.2% swing strike rate, sub 1 whip. But Sam, if you heard this before, Royals, not a beautiful matchup for strikeout upside. How do we split this up? First of all, do we want to get cute with Cameron? 0.1 innings, back-to-back game. Kind of efficient, I guess, on 80 pitch average. Not really converting into Ks. For 5 prospect. 55% whiff on the slider. 39% whiff on the cutter. 8% whiff on the curveball. Is got a decent number of whiff percent. And put it together. Get some strikeout. Maybe this isn't the match, but it feels like we might get some value on Cameron strikeout. Or I mean, at every level for the last forever, been a 10+ K per night. Like his lowest K percentage was 23 AA, 23% K. I'm not really trying to, like, I don't know. I'm really thinking from a DFS standpoint, but these type of pitchers coming up and getting like a 4 strikeout prop, it just might be worth. I like this matchup is super strikeout prone, but there's enough in there. Let's split those props though, because there's gonna be a lot more righties. 32.2 innings, 32 Ks. Maybe it was a strikeout per inning. Maybe this ain't the spot. Maybe we hope for him to just be average again. But it feels like jump on his strikeouts being underpriced sooner or later. And we also know Carson. So this Carson McCusker. The 22% is really just the average I put for people that don't have sample size. We know he's either a home run or strikeout from what we've seen from the minor league. So this could raise the average. Wish we had a higher expectation than 80 pitches. I'll tell you what, it could also just be the innings, right? The skipper's like, oh, he got us 6 innings. Let's go. Oh. Curious case of Noah Cameron. All right, we're going to get to San Pablo. We don't love the matchup. And I tell you, I'm doing it. I don't care. Friday night, how do I get my Yankee stack different? I played Noah Cameron. F it, dude. F it, dude. Oh, look at Stuff Plus. $93. Jesus. All right. I don't know. Neto 100, Ward 115, Logan Angels. Turned into a little Angels fan over there. Under half runs? Yankees Rockies game? What? What am I reading right there, Pojen? Under 4.5 runs. Yankees, Rocky. Is that the first run? The first inning? Murphy? A Nerfy. You know what Cameron's looking. I don't know, man. All right, I'm gonna give him a 20% carry. Pablo, we're gonna give him his 28. Great for. We'll tax him heavy. Cameron, he's gone 6. We'll go 16. That's all I got to say about that. Mariners and the Astros next game up. Emerson Hancock. Emerson. It's Herbie. Taking on Ryan Gusto. 4.2 run total for the Mariners. Astros 4.5. Hancock with a 16.7% carry, 167 on the whip. A lot of power to both sides of the plate, especially lefties, but Astros don't feature many of those. But we can focus on his righty splits, 13% K rate, 300 average allowed, a 1 home run per 9, heavy ground ball rate. Good spot on paper for the Astros to hit for average, maybe paper cut their way into a decent game. Gusto, inversely, he also has pretty obscene splits. Lefties are a big time problem for him. This smells, Mariners today. It smells like a Jorge Polanco homer. Maybe Oppo field into the Crawford box. And then JP Crawford. Crawford have like an obscene value in the box. Not obscene. All right. I don't think I'm gonna pitch. Actually, Hancock, we might tax him. 17% combination of righties and lefties, but with all but one righty, go 15. Gusto. Great. Cool. Ooh, 17 and a half. 18 and a half. Office like a seen Tommy Boy eating on his test. He's working on his test, and they were asking. The answer was Herbie, John Hancock. He put Herbie. John. Herbie. He put Herbie Hancock. What? D-backs and the Cardinals next up. More lineups are coming out, by the way. 4.5 run total for the D-backs. Cardinals 4.2. The firm lineups here: Carroll, Marte, Oriel, Josh Naylor, Eugenio, David Smith for Geraldo, Domo, Alex Thomas, Jose Cardinals lineup: Newt Barr, Mason Wynn, Brandon Donovan, Harris, Willison. There's two of them. Bush is probably one of the more pitcher-friendly parks we've seen the D-backs in for a while. Ooh. Advantage Zach Gallen though. Zach Gallen's had a rough go of it, getting shelled by the Rockies. Prior to that, the Dodgers. You can forgive him for that, but man, he never quite got right after that. I'm gonna lean on him to get right here in a pitcher park. A 24% K rate. Is facing a lineup that doesn't really strike out, has middling of the pack ISOs. Not really a fantastic man, but can get there. Michaelis, a big time contact guy, especially against lefties. This season, just a 10% K rate, 292 average allowed, 24% line drive rate. So we're gonna go D-backs at the top of our interest stack, interest ranking, and I'm gonna get the Gallen. They'll love it. I'm getting there. Don't love the matchup. Getting there. Open the park and out here. Not running to get much from the Cardinals, but there's enough green in this Cardinals lineup flat wise. Ivan Herrera, holy cow, 5K for him. Big time price gap here between the Fanduel and DraftKings. You get 2,700 for Fanduel, but 5K on DraftKings. It looks like a much better Fanduel play. We'll go D-back, Zach Gallen, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go Cardinals substack. Clearly not impossible for anyone to hit Gallen, and then backing him up is a pretty beatable bullpen. You're in interest of getting different on a Friday night, or if you're looking for a stack to shuffle in with some of your higher owned stacks, your Yankees, things like that. The Cardinals team could be your Huckleberry. So let's do that. D-back, Gallen, this Walker 8. Tommy Boy. Quotable. Quote that movie all day. Don't even know it. Couple games left. Let's go over to Colorado. To the Rocky Mountains, huh? That John Denver's full of it. 7.5 is your run total for the Yankees of New York. 4.3 for the Rockies. Wait, got him here. We're going Yankees or Rockies. Clark Schmidt, 22% K rate on the season, 12% swing and strike rate, 3.35 expected ERA, 4.41 actual ERA. The Rockies are just a team of suck. We do have a confirmed Rockies lineup. Jordan Beck, Tovar, Goodman, McMahon, Doyle, Moniak is batting sixth. Al Farmer. Simple. Clark will give great. Tanner Gordon. We don't really need to care, right? We're not. I guess all I care about is don't need to dive too deep into Rockies pitching about anyone against the Yankees. for Judge not to get a hit prop. They sell those? That would probably be plus plus money, extremely plus money. Yeah. God dang, dude. But Judge not to get on base prop. What would you price that at? Got 2 games left on the docket. Pause for the cause. You guys have been stumbling across this video on YouTube, don't know who I am, what we're doing here. We are just researching tonight's baseball games using and supplementing the MLBgrind.com premium spreadsheet. You guys want access to it? MLBgrind.com, click premium memberships, week pass, month pass, and year pass, all up there available. Once you do that, click members portal. There'll be a link to the spreadsheet, a link to the MLB Grind premium Discord, and what we do in this spreadsheet is we kind of give you a quick, expedited way to research and observe and understand the games that are on today's slate with all the pertinent information that you might need to know to make quick decisions. We also formulate pitcher projections, the home run bomb detector, we got stack ratings, we got pitcher prop projections as well, and we'll have the main prop projections in a second, and then we'll also have DFS projections. Cool way to support the sports site, get a little something in return, and get yourself an ability to attack the slate day by day, type of every day. Even if I don't stream, I'm over here tweaking the spreadsheet. Go check that out. We got 2 games left tonight. Marlins and the Angels. Marlins, Sandy Alcantara taking on Yusei Kikuchi. Marlins have a 3.9 implied run total. The Angels 4.8. Angels kind of putting the bats to the baseballs a little bit more lately. Spotlighted Zach Neto on the Wednesday. And yeah, for the last 62 games, he has been really doggone good. And the Angels are a high risk, high reward stack day by day. What I mean by that is we got crazy high K rates, but we got crazy high ISOs, and that's fun. That's fun for DFS. Sandy at one point was one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball. Left for some surgery, came back, has not been able to find that level of dominance, but he has sustained an elevated ground ball rate, 53% to righties, 48% to lefties so far this season. He's struggling keeping lefties in the park at a high clip, and he's not immune to homers to righties either. So he's been attackable, and this is kind of a unstoppable force, immovable object, where I do think there is a range of outcomes that Sandy isn't like the worst play on the slate, because of the matchup giving you a couple more opportunities to strike out than maybe some of his recent matchups. But at the same time, I get it, man. He's been more of a contact pitcher in general anyway, but even more so this year. So I'm kind of on both sides of this one, and maybe I'm just a sucker for sub 8K Sandy, but I'll get to some Sandy. I do think we get to Angels first, as they are a flatter stack and both bullpens suck. So Sandy, if he falls, he's backed up by beatable pitching. So we'll get to him. And then I think we get to some Kikuchi. And this is just because the Marlins are... We might even reverse that. What do you guys think? We'll go Kikuchi first, then Angels, Sandy. Then I don't think it's crazy to get to the Marlins. Some of my favorite bats from the Marlins: Agustin Ramirez, Wagaman. I can see them, because the Angels bullpen is pretty beatable too. A 6.66 ERA, that's demonic. So let's get a projection here. Let's go Sandy at one. Walk rate Walking lefties at a high clip. There's only 3 lefties. So 9. Yeah. Both well on the over. Give them both a flat 18. I think it's got to be plus 400, no hit. Yeah. 700. Kind of crazy that we're plus 700 would mean that there's a 12.5% probability of him not doing it. Special. He is special. All right, main event tonight, Phillies and the Athletics. Phillies a 5.6 run total. Athletics 4.1. We got Zach Wheeler taking on Jeffrey Springs. This is a tough ballpark, as we've seen all year, but I still think Wheeler might be the best pitcher on the slate. But the offense is rough, so we're gonna eventually get to both sides. So Phillies, Athletics, probably not gonna get to. Phillies coming from a series in Coors, and I mean, my goodness, look at their splits versus lefties. Getting a lot here. Absolutely disgusting. So parlay that with the park, parlay that with the bullpen. This is a good spot for the Phillies to pick up where they left off yesterday. Did they only score 2 runs against Herman Marquez yesterday? So 32% K rate on Wheeler. 4% walk rate. Springs. Walk rate. All right, 50. I'll give him. If it did. All right, that zeroes out our. Dell came in outside Pablo. All right, this is before lineups get updated. Gonna go update some lineups. If you guys lurk and got some questions, comments, concerns, something you want us to go visit, holler at your boy. Back rating gives us Yankees by a mile, Dodgers, Red Sox, Angels, Jacks, Phillies, and Phillies came a lot lower than I thought. We weather bumped them. Sacramento. Here on the background, gun on the foreground. In a background. In the last couple days, I moved my office from the back room to the living room, getting ready for the summer. Because I got blackout curtains and multiple air conditioners. Summer's gonna suck here in Texas. My house ain't me. A big old house, just me. And the animals, of course. But I didn't bring the background yet. I don't think I like this white background. And also, I feel like you can hear the acoustics, the hollow of this big old room. So I have to adjustments on that. But I was also able to fix the mic where I sound way more stereo. What was going on? I think you guys should better notice that. But and also the lighting in here is so much better than the back office ring light. Plus the actual light looks better. People thought I got a new camera on Twitch. Didn't. Just better lighting. But you might see some feathers from a dream catcher I bought off a reservation gas station in Oklahoma a couple years back. I think we're gonna bring a back chop. Either I get a new one or I just go get that gal. Update some lineups here. Brewers lineup came out. Turang, Chorio, Contreras, which Hoskins is batting 5th. Al Frelick, Durbin, Bowers, Manas. Pirates, Neil Cruz, McCutcheon, Reynolds, Horwitz batting clean up. Mario. F. Like that. So the early slate is locked. For that, we did get Skeens jumping Peralta on that update. Cubs run total has moved to 4.2. Reds game loss. Brewers at 3.4. 7 on the Pirates. 4 Nationals 4.2. So and San Francisco goes. Yeah. All right. Main slate lineups. What came out? Rays lineup. And Blue Jays. Both that Vlad, Joe Springer, Kurt, Archer, Asse. Like that. Yes, Caminero. Lineup is coming out a lot. Going Angel Martinez, second, Aram, Ardo, there. All but one lefty. Job's lefty splits actually give him a little bit more strikeout. Way more homers and one. Is about we got Eyes, Machado, Sander, Evan, sixth, Jose Iglesias, Elias. Does definitely a different lineup. Green like that. We get 3 lefties. Strikeouts might have gone down though. Braves confirmed lineup: Acuna, leading off, Riley, Olsen, Luna, Alex Verdugo, Murphy, Ozzy Albies. This lineup starting to lengthen a little bit, starting to sound more fun. Sox lineup came out. Hydroth, Mike Tauchman, the Sockman, former Yankee great. Ghost. Pro. Light. Royals. India. Witt. Pascantino. Salvi. Drew Waters. Avizio. Isbell. The Click. Jeffers. Reese Lewis batting second. Trevor Larnack. Carlos Correa batting cleanup. France. Brooks Lee. Bride. Harrison Hader. Willie Cap. Those lineup. Pena. Eastcock Paredes. Juve. Yainer Diaz. Walker. Martini. Myers. Cam Smith. So many righty. D-backs, Cardinals, we had that. Rockies, we had that. They're all caught up. FaZe DFS Streamer House. What up, Jay? Ray. Oh. Maybe. I think a DFS house would have been more fun like 10 years ago. Nowadays, just nerds click and simulate. All right. That's about as much breaking down. Oh, we were thinking about when I get lazy on prize picks, I like to find good road teams with fantasy points top. Good match. Christmas is in. All right, let's keep moving. Ram fantasy points kind of stick out. Him at fantasy points was a double in a run. Nope. Park maybe. Keep looking. I think it pours in oh, I do like Polanco. Begging for it. And a half fantasy points, dude. Man, I guess he simmered off a little bit, but Michaelis, 292 average to lefties. Big spot for Corbin Carroll. He's probably at 9.5 fantasy points. I don't think we can hit a 7.5, 8.5. I'm very interested in that. We'll use that as a placeholder, but I do like to stay around seven or less. I'm thinking of the double plus run. Would lose a lot of money on. Any Yankee. Dodge lines are in like what? 11. I mean, a homer does it. You buying into this Judge almost even money to homer. 11 fantasy points is instant. Cody Bellinger's been. I don't think we're. He finished. Well, we got Joe. I'm Tyrone. Seasons in the Abyss. What? You just got to DFS in 2021? Yeah, you missed the glory years, bro. There were some good times. Dude, am I tripping or are the Mariners just really? I'm really getting a good deal on the. Unless you just got them for homers. If you think Grisham, Ben Rice, Cody Bellinger, Joji. Guess we want some Phillies. Lefty. They all look good. Trey Turner. Flex Friday. A very back-ended slate. 7.5. Yeah, I'll take it. Al Tucker is at the. A lot of Cubs here. Greeny. Ramirez, I don't hate. We've been getting Augustine Ramirez pretty cheap. 5.5. If he's gonna bat near cleanup in that park in that matchup, we're on this. Or if he's gonna be batting second, I mean, we're at 1, 2, 4. Neto, Andy, here for that. The 5 picker. That's that. Even Quan's interesting. I would take Quan. He's a good hit for average guy. Alright. Those are names that stick out for a Flex Friday. Blanco, Carroll, Trey Turner, Augustine Ramirez, Zach Neto, Quan. That is quite a diverse clip. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll be around. Big night. Night. Is Terry live? Terry is live. So if you guys want
Oscar
continue the chatter, go check out Terry. Breaks down the hitters a lot better than I do. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.